Hello, YouTube. Sir Dragon X here. Today, we continue with episode number 4 of our Living in Mexico No Bull series in the video. Coming up next. Welcome back to Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull. Today, we continue our Living in Mexico No Bull series with Maria. Maria is very special. She's actually going to medical school here in Mexico. She's originally from Bethesda, Maryland. Maria, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Not only is Maria studying in medical school, but she has a very, very special gift that I'm going to share with you at the end of this interview. Maria, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you're doing here in Mexico, and give us a little bit about your history of moving to Mexico.
My name is Maria Touba Khakbaz Casas, and I'm from Bethesda, Maryland. I'm 18 years old, studying at Tec de Monterrey in Monterrey, Mexico. I'm studying medicine, and I'm really loving it here. I adapted. It was really nice. It was a really calm, well, not calm, but really busy time in my life, but I'm enjoying it right now.
And you're in your first year of medical school?
Yes, this is my first year in medical school. Right now I'm currently in second semester.
Okay. Now, medical school here is different than it is over there in the United States, right?
Yes, very different. Over here, instead of doing the first year of general education, you go straight into the medicine, straight into all of these classes like anatomy, you go into digestive system, endocrine system. You're right in the material and you don't have to waste your time.
But not only that, you don't go through you don't have to get a 4-year college degree and then go to medical school. You go straight into medical school here in Mexico, am I correct?
Exactly.
And now, you already know Spanish, am I correct? Because your mom's from Mexico.
Yeah, my mom is originally from here, from Monterrey. And she studied at the school that I'm currently studying at right now, Tecnológico de Monterrey.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Tec de Monterrey is one of the best medical schools in Mexico. It is actually equivalent to an Ivy League school.
Yes, it is actually one of the best schools here in Monterrey, and it sure feels like it too.
And it feels like it. You said you had a real easy time adapting. Tell us a little bit about adapting to the difference in the U.S. education system and coming to Mexico and being here.
Well, okay. So the good thing is that I already knew Spanish when I first came here. It was easy adapting to the life in Mexico, as in you make friends really easy. Everybody's really loving. Everybody wants to get to know you. You feel at home. Now, educationally wise, it is hard. It is a little hard. Over here in Mexico, people already come from high school knowing what to do, knowing what they want, knowing exactly where they want to be in life. And it's very structured here. It's very straightforward. You either know the material or you don't. You either keep up with it or you don't. I think that's why it's one of the best schools here, because it's just amazing. It's very organized, very structured, to the point.
Now, it's my understanding that you actually went to a couple of schools in the United States and took tours, I think in New York and several other places. Now, what made you pick Tec de Monterrey?
Well, honestly, I always pictured myself studying in New York. I wanted to go to NYU. I looked at Stony Brook, Syracuse. I wanted a city. I knew I wanted a city, a big city. But one of the main reasons I did choose that this school, Tecnológico de Monterrey, was because, well, first off, you got to think about education. You got to think about costs. Costs in the United States, you're going to end up in student debt when you're out. You're going to still be paying when you're working. And I didn't want that. I don't want to be in student debt. Nobody wants to be in student debt. Over here in Mexico, you have the chance to go to school at the same level, if not better, than in the States. And you pay less. The cost is less, and you're paying for an incredible education.
And then not only that, but the cost is less, but this is a private university here in Mexico. This is like private, cream of the crop school in Mexico.
It is. And also, campus does not compare, like, the campus does not compare in New York to the one in Mexico.
So
It's
the
beautiful.
campus here is beautiful, and it's a really great setting for you to study in, Mark.
Yes, we have like animals running all over the place. We have peacocks, we have ducks, we have cats. It's very calm. And you feel like you want to study there. That's why people go to campus even if they don't have a class. You just want to be there. Campus is beautiful. It's gorgeous. All the buildings are like brand new. They're all modern, and we have like state of the art like everything. It's amazing.
Now, you went through a process to get into the medical school here. Am I correct? Or how did you go about going through the process of getting in and getting accepted here at the Tec de Monterrey?
So first off, it was pretty much like any normal college admissions process, I would say. Like, it wasn't very different than using, college apps. And so all I did was I followed the questionnaire that they gave me. I filled out all the information, like my ethnicity, where I'm from, all of that, really simple. And then you got to the parts where you talk about yourself, you write an essay, you answer questions. I would say the college process is fairly similar to the one in the United States, except you have to go a little bit extra. Over here they have admissions exams, entrance exams. And in the States, not really. You have like the ACT, the SAT, but it's really common, right? You don't have to take an exam when you're entering the college. I gave them my AP results, I gave them my ACT results, so that was fairly similar. And I did have to do an entrance exam because those qualified and those were accepted. I would say that it's a little different also because I did have to do an interview to get into the medical school. So they interview you and they tell you, okay, well, you're a part of this batch of students, and after interviews, we're gonna cut 15 out and there'll be 30 students that we're gonna accept. And so I went through the interview process. I talked with the director of my career, and then he told me, well, I think you did good. We're gonna send you an email, tell you if you're accepted or not, and then you'll be official.
Now, when you first came here, of course you come from the United States, but are there other foreign students attending at the Tec de Monterrey?
I would say there are a ton of foreign students. All my friends are from different parts of the world. I have friends from France, a friend from Spain, a friend from Switzerland, and all my friend group, none of them are from Monterrey. They're all from, one of them is from Torreon, one of them is from Tabasco, one of them is from Guatemala, and one of them is from Bolivia. I would say, like, it's incredible. You meet people from all over the world.
So you're getting not just an education, but a cultural experience too. You're getting to meet people from all over the world. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Now, tell me, one of the things that we always get in the United States is, oh, Mexico's dangerous. Mexico's really bad, especially Monterrey being a big city. How do you feel as far as being safe, the campus? Do you feel that it's dangerous, or how do you feel living here in Monterrey, not just at the campus, not just going to school, but just living here in general?
I mean, so far it's been pretty easy for me. I think I've been feeling generally like pretty safe. I think always you're gonna have to worry at a little bit about your safety, especially being a woman. You always have to worry about everything. But yeah, we've had like some incidents, but I've had the same incidents in the United States, I would say. Overall, there are places you should always avoid, but where I live, I feel really safe. I see people walking alone all the time, females walking alone all the time. Campus is extremely safe. Once you're inside, you're fine. We have security patrolling all over the zona tecnológico, and so I think generally I feel really safe.
And you're from Bethesda, Maryland, so you've been to DC, Baltimore, and all of those areas. So you would probably say it's no different than your safety in Baltimore or your safety in DC or your safety. I mean, would you compare it to that, or?
Well, honestly, I think that like living in a suburban area, I did have a little bit of a shock, but you always have to be careful, and it's one thing you gotta learn. I think I would have done the same if I moved to New York, that I would have to learn how to be vigilant and alert, because every city's got its perks. Every city's got its, little kinks and quirks. And so I think I would be in the same situation over there.
And I couldn't agree with you more, because when I do my segments on safety and danger and everything else, is I always say that it's everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter if you're in the United States. A lot of people use the argument that, oh, well, you know, in the United States we have more shootings, or no, it's not a matter of which place is more dangerous, but I think you phrased it perfectly by saying you just have to be careful and you just have to be aware all the time. Mm-hmm. Now, for somebody as young as you, of course, it's not just study, 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 I'm almost sure. So tell me a little bit about social life here in Monterrey and studying here in Monterrey.
I'm gonna say it's 10 times better than Bethesda, Maryland. I love the nightlife here. I love what you can do here. Over here, instead of having to drive everywhere, I can basically walk wherever I want. I have a cafe right next to my apartment. We go there to study, we go there to talk. We have a bar that we love. Over here, I think it's just more, there's more joy. People are a lot more into what they're doing. And the life is always busy. Life is always busy. Everybody's moving. Everybody's constantly doing something. You're never going to be bored here.
Awesome. Okay, you're from the East Coast, and I actually lived on the East Coast. I lived in Falls Church, Virginia for a little while, for a couple of years. Now, I know that it's kind of expensive on the East Coast. When you go to a restaurant here, what do you find, or when you go out to eat, or like you have a lot of, I noticed around the Tech, because I go around the Tech a lot, that there's a lot of little places to eat, like to eat tacos, little stands and stuff like that. As far as the cost of, like, I'm almost sure you go out and eat a lot because you're a student, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you find as far as the cost, like eating a hamburger versus going to McDonald's over there?
It's a lot better because I had a job over there, so I had a lot of saving. So over here, the average I'll spend on food is no more than 200 pesos, which is like $10, 10 US dollars. Over in the States, if I ate out, I would probably easily be spending $20 or more, and that would be like, what, 400 pesos?
And actually in the United States, if you get now a Big Mac meal and everything else, it's actually almost $15 in Virginia, right?
Yeah, it's expensive. It's getting expensive. Over here, I mean, it's expensive in Monterrey, but honestly, it's a lot better.
And it's better food too.
Oh, it's amazing. I've been eating horrible in the States.
Now, I did mention that Maria has a special gift. If you've noticed that we've been talking back and forth here, what you didn't notice is that Maria has a special talent. And I'm gonna go into that special talent. Actually, in the United States, we'd call it a disability, but Maria doesn't call it a disability. She actually calls it a gift. And I'm gonna have her explain to us exactly what her special gift is. And I will tell you, she is one incredible person.
So I actually do have hearing loss and I wear hearing aids. I have severe to profound hearing loss, which means that I do qualify and I do wear my hearing aids all the time. I'm supposed to wear them all the time.
And you're legally deaf in the United States, am I right?
I think so, yes. I wouldn't know. I don't really pay attention. But yeah, so ever since I was little, I've always had since I was 8 years old when I was diagnosed, I've been wearing my hearing aids. But what I didn't notice is that, probably I had my hearing loss since I was born. But because I wasn't diagnosed, they found out that, I'd been using other means to understand what was going on around me and to tell what people were saying. Because I grew up speaking English perfectly fine. I grew up speaking Spanish too, fluently. So they figured out when I was getting tested is that I had these headphones on, so I wouldn't be able to hear. But I was still getting the words that they were speaking to me because I was reading their lips. So then, once they covered their lips, covered their mouth, I stopped being able to hear because I wasn't hearing, I was reading.
And you do hear something, but we were sitting down and talking not too long ago, and because I was trying to get it, I've always known you for a while, and I know you have this gift, but I always thought that it was because you could read my lips. And we were talking about, because people have masks, or your mom was talking to you. We were actually hanging out and your mom was talking to you through a mask and you could still understand her. So you hear something, but can you kind of explain to the audience what you explained to me is exactly what you hear. And yes, you can read lips, but you also have another talent that you can read the voice and the tones of the voice, but it's not what you're hearing. You're not hearing me speak, but you're hearing. You get used to my voice. Can you kind of explain that? Because you could probably explain it better than I could.
Yeah, of course. So basically, what I learned about myself is that I've gotten accustomed to the way that certain people talk, especially the people who are around me like 24/7. Like, I lived with 4 girls at all times. They were always with me. So I started to memorize the way that they speak, and I started to pick up on their accents. And so if I didn't hear them through the mask, I would kind of, oh, okay, I can guess that this is what they're saying because they said it this way. I would memorize their tone, and I would memorize the way that, you speak. When you say certain vowels and certain consonants and everything, all like that. So the way my mom speaks, I don't hear her half the time, but I know what she's saying to me by her tone. I've already memorized my mom's voice. I don't need to be facing her. I don't need to be like 2 feet away from her. I can be like far away and she'll say something and I'm like, okay, Mom, I got you.
Now, when we were talking, and what I thought was very incredible, because you were just saying that you memorize the tones of the voice and but what you actually hear coming in, like right now when I'm talking to you, what you're hearing is just kind of sort of like mumbling. But you can tell what I'm saying by just reading my lips or by just my tone, because you've been around me for a while. And you were saying it doesn't take you long to learn. You learn pretty quick.
Yeah, I'd say that I'm a fast reader.
You're a fast reader of voices, huh?
Fast reader of voices and of books. It's been the same for me.
Now, has it been hard that now during the mask, is it kind of hard sometimes to understand some people that you haven't memorized their voice, or maybe at school, have you found it a little bit harder? Sometimes the teachers aren't facing you. Have you had some obstacles?
Yeah, I would say that I've had a bunch of obstacles, especially because one of the things that I did learn about Mexico is that they're not yet completely advanced on, awareness and education of disabilities. So over here, I did have to battle a little bit. I did have to get people to listen to me and to give me what I needed to be able to, live my life and be on everybody else's level. With the mask, I would say a lot of people can't hear with the mask on, even if they have perfect hearing. And then I tell people, well, if you can't hear with the mask on, how do you expect me to hear with the mask on? Because I've been reading your lips this entire time. And now I don't have lips, and the mask muffles their voices already. And my hearing loss already muffles voices for me. So it has been a little bit of a challenge. Well, a little big challenge. So, yeah.
But it's been a challenge, but you've been successful at studying here and doing what you need to do, and the teachers have been accommodating. If you've had to battle a little bit, but they've been kind of accommodating now, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of just advocating for yourself, and whenever I tell them what I need, they usually, most of the time, the teacher's going to be pretty compliant. They're going to be like, okay, how can I help you? Okay, what can we do then? What is an idea that we can come up with so that you can learn better and I can teach better?
Now, I already knew about your condition when I first met you and everything else, but do you surprise people sometimes that don't know about it?
Yeah, it's because I usually don't introduce myself. Oh, hi, I'm Maria. I have hearing loss, by the way. That's usually not a very cool introduction, I would say. But as usually I get away with just reading people's lips and they don't find out. Some of my teachers didn't know until I finally said, oh, I'm Maria, by the way. I'm the one with hearing loss. Please listen to me.
So that some of your teachers didn't even know. Mm-hmm. So you had to later on tell them, hey, look, this is what happened and I can't hear you. So can you please turn around or whatever? And they've been very good have they been very good in accommodating you? Or?
Because it's just a matter of hearing loss is not really a disability that you can see right away. Even though I can keep up and it appears that I can keep up, I still do struggle and I still need all of my accommodations to be on the level of somebody else my age and my career and academic level.
But like I told you when we were having our little discussion, your talent is something that I couldn't even have, to be honest with you, whether I could hear you or not, to be able to do that. I mean, because you've never been to a school for the deaf, you don't even know sign language.
Yeah, I tried to learn, but honestly, I don't use it very much, so.
So that's awesome. And like I said, you know what? I wouldn't even call it a disability because you have a unique gift that is just incredible.
Thank you.
Now, I know in the United States that, you know, there's a lot of laws that protect people with disabilities, or especially in school, stuff like that, that you probably had access to, tools that you had access to in the United States. Do you find that Mexico's at the same level as the United States as far as awareness, or do you think that they're behind? Where do you think Mexico lies as far as being all-inclusive with people with, no, I wouldn't even call it disabilities, but with issues that they need to have accommodated?
So honestly, I did learn that Mexico is a little bit less advanced in the terms of education about disabilities or abilities with different abilities. Mexico is one of those countries who just needs to be told. Just needs to be told. Once you tell them what you need, you have to put it right in front of them. You say, "This is what I need. This is what I need help with," and they're gonna give it to you. It's not like they're trying to discriminate against you.
Yeah, so it's not like in the United States, because they've made all these laws because of discrimination and stuff like that. Here it's not as much because they discriminate against you. It's just that, oh well, we just assume that you're fine and you haven't said anything. So, but when you did say something, they listen to you. That's basically what you're saying.
Exactly. Over here, if you want something, you ask for it and you push to get it. Over in the States, I do feel like I didn't have very much practice with, you know, constantly like pushing for it, but now like I'm waiting, and I think that's the way you need to live life in the first place. You need to push for what you want.
Well, I want to thank you, Maria, for giving me this opportunity to interview you. One of the things that I'm doing in this interview in Mexico, No Bull, is I'm not just pulling, we always think of people moving to Mexico as retired or working here. I wanted to give people a perspective of all walks of life. And you're a student, you're a young girl. Not only that, but a young girl that has this special gift. And I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview you and show the people of different types of people that are living here in Mexico.
No, I want to thank you for having me on here.
You know what, Maria, I wish you luck, and I know you're going to be successful. And not only going to medical school, but going to one of the best medical schools in all of Mexico. So, you know what? Good luck. And I hope you enjoyed this series, and see you soon. Now, that concludes our interview with Maria. I hope you enjoyed this interview. She's not only a very talented young woman, but she's an example that we should all follow, that no matter what obstacle that you may face, anything is possible. So stay tuned for the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you soon.